Okay, remember when I made the video an accident waiting to happen? Well, in case you didn't catch that one, I'll just refresh your memory. Okay, so uh, this would be an accident, what we would call an accident waiting to happen. So if you walked by and you saw these toys on the steps, you could point to the toys and say, that's an accident waiting to happen. Okay, so we've got this waiting to happen uh, way of saying something, but I just realized that it can be used in a couple of different ways. And so we've got an accident waiting to happen. Uh, we could also say a divorce waiting to happen, right? Something, something waiting to happen. Okay, so a lawsuit waiting to happen. So let's say if you're a doctor and you have some uh, patient that comes in with a difficult problem, you could say, wow, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Or some equipment that is not working properly, you could say that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Or divorce waiting to happen. So let's say, for example, uh, there's a military couple. Some people might say that's a divorce waiting to happen because military people have to go in different directions most of the time. These people look happy, but in reality, he could be sent to Iraq and she could be sent to Alaska, right? So somebody might say, okay, well that's a divorce waiting to happen, or let's say, for example, just one of them is in the military. There's the one guy's in the military, and the the girl is like the woman is living in a small town, right? And he's off deployed, uh, most of the time. Somebody might say that's a divorce waiting to happen. And this one, well, I thought was kind of funny. I hope you can see the humor in this. This is possibly a divorce waiting to happen.
Congratulations, it's a boy.
All right, right. Um, so anyway, another case of a divorce waiting to happen might be some kind of like let's say, for example, Will Smith. This is what brought it to my mind because somebody was talking about Will Smith and his wife Jada. They said that's a divorce waiting to happen because they've been split up for a long time and living separately. So somebody said, well, that's a divorce waiting to happen. Another example of a lawsuit waiting to happen was I can remember when I was living in Japan, they, you know, had this concrete thing that divided the property um, of the apartment complex that I lived in. There was a concrete, just can I say, like a curb, right? And it seemed to serve no purpose other than to separate the property. But it was so stupid the way they had it. They didn't have it painted yellow or anything. It was just down there, and it was about this tall. And I remember I tripped over it several times. And then across the street from me, there was an art gallery, and I went over and I was looking in the shop to see if there's anything I wanted, and so I started talking to this guy. Dang it, get this thing. All right, I started talking to this guy. I think his name was Hiroshi, and he started talking to me, and he was old. I mean, old, like upper 80s. I'm thinking. So, but he was having this conversation with me, and we began to walk down the street. I started to go home, but he wanted to keep this conversation going, and we were talking as we were walking, and he was like looking up at me, and he was like, and he was speaking English to me, so he was probably focused on his English, and he tripped over that thing and fell like flat on his face. Oh. So anyway, that curb was you could say a disaster waiting to happen, or a lawsuit waiting to happen, or an accident waiting to happen. Okay, so that's what we say. That's a something something waiting to happen. All right, so I will talk to you on the next idiom.